all right, mate. I've been told it gets easy.
We will be going through an action, war, and thriller movie from 2022 named Bunker. There will be spoilers ahead in this video, so chill out and enjoy. The movie begins at an English outpost, led by Lieutenant Turner during World War I. Turner's team includes Private Gray, Lance Corporal Walker, and a young soldier, Louis. At this moment, the lieutenant enters their ditch and alerts everyone for the watch. He scolds Walker that if he sees him leaving the post to groom the mustache again, he will shave that by himself. He replies that his mustache did not fetch him a reprimand for the first time. The lieutenant sends one of them to watch afterward. Amidst their talks, an American, Captain Hall, brings two of his soldiers, Private Segura and Private Baker, to assist Turner. Segura is a medic, having studied medicine before joining the war, while Baker is only an 18-year-old teenager. Private Gray offers him a drink that he accepts hesitantly. When Baker gets afraid of the blast around their ditch, he tells him that shells are more common than rain.
Don't wet yourself just yet, mate. Shells are more common than rain these days. It's nothing to...
So, do not bother much. He also frightens him, saying that they are in no man's land. Countless tunnels and trenches have been abandoned here. So, it would be a miracle if they go out alive. He says they are poor bastards who are left to die there. He continued and says, there lived some unknown people for years, but vanished, and they could be under their feet right then. They only come out at night to scavenge among the rotten remains of that no man's land. He can hear their wretched cries when they feast on the flesh of the dead. He advises him to sleep with one eye open. As Louis is keeping watch on the enemy's outpost, he suddenly sees that all the German soldiers have retreated. He comes to the lieutenant and says they have abandoned their outpost. Turner strikes a mortar at their post to confirm. When they confirm and see no movement, he says crowds have fallen back, and fortunate smiling upon them. The lieutenant suggests that they head over to the German outpost and take control. This would help them to cross the no man's land.
You think that they up and fell back? I say we hit them. We hit them with more artillery, just to be sure.
Captain Hall proposes to hit the post with more artillery, just to be sure, but he rejects him and says it would be in their best interest not to blow it before claiming it. Now he orders his men to follow him after his signal. As they are crawling their way toward the outpost, Baker is attacked by a German soldier. Baker is left with no choice but to stab the man. As the English and American soldiers arrive at the outpost, they find a bunker sealed from the outside. They asked each other why they sealed it from the outside. The lieutenant orders them to open it up. When they head inside, they find a German man, crucified on a cross but still alive. Turner orders his soldiers to bring him down to question him. Just as the group is about to leave the bunker, a shell attack outside brings down heavy boulders and poisonous gas, killing Hall and Gray and injuring Walker. The remaining men are trapped inside the bunker and rush to find the gas masks. After some time, the lieutenant came to see the bodies of Captain Hall and Gary. He orders Baker to radio that attack to their post and alert them for more as they are trapped inside. The soldiers begin to think of ways of getting out. Louis tries to pray to the Lord for their safety, but they notice a strange voice in the bunker. After noticing some intermittent signals in the radio device, he asks Baker to get the radio frequencies.
Fine, I guess.
Where are you from?
America. New York.
Lovely. Lovely. I'm from...
Address from the pockets of Walker. While on the other hand, Turner tries to get the German man to speak. He asks him if he is a deserter, that they found him hanging by a wire and nails, and why he was left to die, but he remains silent all the time. In the next scene, the young soldier comes running to the lieutenant and asks him to come with him. He shows him the German gas capsule, which confirms that the Germans themselves have attacked their own outpost. The lieutenant gets shocked seeing this and wonders, how is that possible? He has never seen anything like that in his whole life. Turner further accords the laborious task of digging through the boulders to Segura Baker. And the German man, due to his prejudice towards Americans, Lewis is assigned to use the radio and contact the authorities for help. Meanwhile injured, Walker grows delusional and begins to cut himself. Lewis notices him and calls his fellow soldiers to stop him. After a while, Walker gets up and stabs Lewis in the leg with a shovel. Before he can proceed further, his skin begins to peel off and he vomits a white, sticky substance. The rest of the soldiers watch in horror as Louis pulls a ghastly, parasite-like organ out of his mouth. Everyone gets shocked and frightened at his condition. He falls back and collapses to his death. Segura suddenly manages to contact the authorities on the radio and shares his coordinates with them. He tells them that there are 4 soldiers trapped inside the bunker, and they have a German prisoner with them too. The authorities tell him to secure the German, as he is their top priority. When Segura tries to talk about it, he is rebuffed and reminded of his subordinate ranking. When Segura informs Turner about his interaction with the authorities, an angry Turner reprimands him for using the radio, since it is not his responsibility. He asks him to bring that coward crowd there.
Dealings of communication unless under my direct supervision.
With all due respect, sir,
He dismisses him, saying that he is putting his faith in him. After witnessing the ordeal experienced by Walker, Louis grows paranoid and begins to believe it to be the work of the devil. He pushes Baker when he disagrees with him and says, "They must not stand in unholy places, brother." A tin box drops in the process. Louis picks it up and shows it to him. He tells him that this is the same sticky material that came out of the mouth of Walker. Meanwhile, Turner arrives there and inspects all the boxes. His skepticism of Segura continues to grow, and he believes him to be an accomplice to the German man. And he asks Louis to join hands with him to keep an eye on both of them. He does not want Segura on the radio again. While on the other hand, Segura and the crowd are talking about their lives. Both of them were orphans and raised in community houses. Crowd tells him that he was picked by someone, but the Yankee says he was not. Now he asks the crowd, as he is in the bunker way before them, what does he know about this bunker and what was the material that came out of Corporal Walker's mouth. He says that was not warfare or human at all. He suspects him, saying that this must have happened before, and that's why they nailed him to that cross. Now crowd speaks and metaphorically says, they are all sheep in the bunker, and should carefully watch the wolf among them. He asks him, what would a devil shepherd want from the herd? Kurt says he wants dominion. After some time, Segura notices a bit of noise in the dark cave. He gets up and walks to check, but comes out in an open space. He sees some white fluid with something growing from it. At the same time, they all hear sirens of the attack, and they put the gas masks on. Segura confronts Turner, who scolds him for his sympathy for the crowd. He says he and the crowd led them down there, and he nursed him back to health, and they are conspiring something against them. When he was about to stab him, Louis stops him and saves Segura. Now Turner gathers everyone and asks them to leave their weapons on the ground. He says they have no food, no water, not enough air, no rescue in sight, and for the trust. They must do this for the sake of the lives of the people in that bunker. He orders the crowd to sit in the corner, while Baker and Segura go to dig the tunnel. Later on, with unbearable thirst, Lewis ends up drinking the white liquid dripping from above, the same one that Walker had vomited. Following this, a delusional Louis holds Turner captive with a grenade. Before Louis can release the bomb, Baker stops him, but it explodes. Louis dies in the process, while Baker is severely injured. As Turner holds Louis's corpse in his arms, he is shocked to see that it has decomposed instantly. Horrified by this image, Turner believes it to be the work of the American soldiers and turns against them after Louis's death. Segura goes to the radio to communicate.
What does he have to do with this?
That information is classified, I'm afraid. Need I remind you of your rank?
Who the hell is this?
But Kurt fires at the radio, and Segura realizes that it was never connected. In the first place, its only source of connection being the evil vines in the bunker. Hence both Segura and Louis had been talking to the evil entity all this while and not to the military authorities. Segura forces Kurt at gunpoint to reveal the evil in the bunker. Kurt finally mentions that the evil in the bunker is the Angel of War, an ancient evil that needs conflict and horror to spread. Since war provides an avenue for conflict, this evil grows powerful and continues to consume whatever comes on this path. Kurt further discloses that this evil angel has chosen him to be its vessel for spreading. In the next scene following Louis' death, Turner begins to go paranoid. As Kurt is explaining to Segura about the evil, we see Turner consuming the white liquid and letting himself be seduced by its powers. After a while, Turner holds Segura and Kurt at gunpoint, telling them that it was because of the Americans that he lost his entire troop. Turner ends up shooting Kurt in the belly, and a fight ensues between him and Segura. Turner overpowers Segura and knocks him down. Before Turner can escape injured, Baker shoots him to death. Segura attempts to heal Kurt, but Kurt suggests that he dies so the evil might die with him. Segura, however, promises to be back for Kurt. Using a couple of tables, Segura climbs up the ceiling, which is open due to another shelling. He takes Baker, and both of them crawl outside the bunker. After a while, a group of soldiers amidst the war
Easy now. You're all right. Oh, don't worry, bud.
end up rescuing Baker, while Segura decides to go down into the bunker to save Kurt. When Segura returns, he realizes that Kurt has already died. In a frightening monster, the Angel of War has emerged from him. Realizing that the only way that evil can be contained is by blowing up the bunker, Segura sacrifices himself and uses a bomb to blow up the entire place, putting an end to the evil. The movie ends by showing Segura's war journal lying on the battlefield and being covered in the dirt. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, recap in minutes for more videos like this, and help the channel grow.